Hey, Cleveland investors, welcome back. This is our Thursday, September 12th update. Michael and I and Lyndon and Betty Joe just got back from Cleveland. We were there 4 days, walked almost all 470 units, took videos of every single unit, every single boiler that we were able to inspect, met with boiler contractors. And Michael, let's start with the boilers. Those are the big ticket items. You and I really wanted a dumbed down, easy to understand version of what needed to happen. And we wanted them to sharpen their pencils if they could. One contractor said, this is as sharp as they get, giving you guys a good deal. The other one actually was able to, look at a few things that we need to do and help us out in a couple of areas. Both contractors recommend doing a few different maintenance items. And really Norm was right on it with what we needed. And it's still going to be very expensive, but the great news is we took videos and got a firsthand education on, we have 28 boilers and 28 buildings that rely on boilers on exactly what needs to happen to be functional, up and running, and the different maintenance that we need to check on and make sure happens. So anything you want to add to what we went over with the contractors on boilers? Last thing I'll say on that is they're starting immediately, and we've got a really good game plan on how to prevent future damage, future failures, and also fix the issues that we currently have.
The good news on one of them, we actually have one of the guys, and one of the guys actually has been working on these boilers, knows these boilers really well. He's worked on them as long as we've owned them, and then worked on with the previous owner, so he knows them like the back of his hand. The other guys that we are going to hire, because we're going to split it up, so we don't just rely on one person. They're actually going to be able to rebuild one of the units, which will save us a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars. So that was a great little surprise. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get going.
Yeah, we need the savings for sure. What they also mentioned is they're going to have to go through and take apart floats and do stuff that really needs to be done. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is what we found in the unit walks. We have some really nice looking units. Tenants really want to live there. I think the overwhelming comforting theme that we found with the tenants is they don't want to move. They like the buildings, they really like the locations. And if we can just keep fixing these maintenance issues, they'll stay. And we asked people, they would say, and they said, absolutely. And so we need to keep working on that. And so we did take a ton of notes on what needs to be done. And we have a much better handle on everything that has to happen as far as the buildings go, as far as all 477 units go. We really understand what needs to happen there. We did give Norm and Rob the green light to hire another maintenance tech. Sorry, kids bugging me. So we realized that there's a lot of deferred maintenance that didn't happen these last 3 years. The current maintenance team is doing a good job. They have great attitude. They are stretched thin, so we will be approving that. We took a video and exterior photos of every single building we have out there. One of our great investors runs an advertising agency, and she is working on upgrading and really taking our marketing to the next level, which will help obviously with increasing occupancy and increasing rents. So we accomplished a ton while we were out there. It was needed. And Michael, you and I have taken over all asset management for Cleveland with Lyndon as well. Anything you'd like to add as far as our visit goes, as a summary of what we accomplished while we were there?
I was happy and sad at the same time. I was happy to see that we had a lot of tenants that were very, very happy there. I was sad to see that some people unfortunately had no choice, especially some of our older tenants that, had sized down from houses that they, no longer could afford or whatever. Their lives had changed. And they just really liked being in a very safe, beautiful neighborhood and good buildings. And they were shocked that, owners flew in from Utah and California to listen to them and to back up what the new managers have been doing. And make no mistake, the managers are a little bit overwhelmed because there are a lot of service things that were not serviced before, and they're making up for that now. Hence, we're adding another maintenance person to staff to try to make their job a little bit easier because it is quite stressful and we don't want to burn them out. So a lot of work to be done the next 3 to 6 months, but there's just a tremendous amount of demand for that neighborhood. And I was also happy to see just how vibrant the neighborhood was. Market, beautiful new markets coming in shortly, right across from the main part of Fairmount 1, Fairmount 4, Fairmount 3, and just really just a really cool, clean, safe, gorgeous neighborhoods. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, the neurological center is framed. You know, it's a big steel building with hundreds of thousands of square feet. I actually stayed in a hotel close to that on Cleveland Clinic's campus. I'm going to go over the numbers so we can keep this short and sweet. Can you see my screen okay, Michael?
Yeah,
So as of this week, so September 12th, we are sitting at physical 90% occupancy for F1, F3 is 100%, F4 is 87, F5 79, Lakewood 84, lease, so that means signed leases, people moving in, F1 95, F3 100, F4 91, F5 83, Lakewood 86, with projected occupancies doing very well. You know, we have our property managers filling out this tracker. So you guys have a link to this. Feel free to check it out, ask us any questions. One thing that we're really focusing hard on is releasing units, and we're sitting at about 60% for this month so far. That's people that have leases that are ending, who are, you know, convinced by our leasing agents to re-sign rather than cancel and move out. We do have a lot of move outs these next 2 months, so we are pushing really hard on that. Pushing really hard on marketing as well. So if you come down here, we're auditing all of our marketing here. And then Bhavna in San Francisco and her team is working really hard on taking advantage of the photos and videos Betty and I and Lyndon took, and Michael too, while we were there, putting that all up on these sites. We're on Zillow, apartments.com, and soon we will have a Google listing for every single building that we own, which really should have been done this whole time, but you know, now we know, and we're working really hard on 5-star reviews in all of those areas as well. As far as collections in August, you guys got those numbers last week, and then so far in September, this is where we're at across each portfolio. And promises to pay is important, Michael, because that means people that haven't paid or have paid partially for the month so far, you have to push really hard on those people, and that means that we're going to end up you know, somewhere close to where we were last month as far as collections go. But we're still weeding out a lot of those old tenants that are not good tenants that were put in there previously, and retraining the tenants to pay on time, and they'll be evicted if they don't. And so Athene's doing a great job there. That's all I really have for the numbers. You guys can reach out and text or call me with any questions. But we are improving still. So again, that's the good news, is that we are improving across the board. You know, in the next couple of months, we'll be able to raise rents and get where we need to be. And of course, fix all these capital expenditure items and move on from there. So, Michael, did I miss anything?
just delinquency. I've noticed.
Is right here. Yep. Still fairly high. We're still working on a number of those evictions that we started last month. So that's going to remain high until they either pay or they get evicted. So it's coming down from where it was, but definitely still something that Norm is working really hard on.
And remember, we're only halfway through the month, so that's going to come down further.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
why I mentioned the promises to pay.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to make sure they knew they were tied to that.
Yep.
Okay, good.
That's all I've got. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Have a good week. We'll talk to you next week.